A couple of weeks ago, I texted my friend, but they blew me off and left me on read. A couple of days ago, I texted them again because I got a big promotion at work and I was excited. I invited them out because I was hoping we could celebrate, but even though they said they were happy for me, they were too busy. They did mention that they would like to possibly go out tonight, but maybe they forgot. I haven't heard anything yet, and I'm too anxious to ask them because I'm scared they'll blow me off again. Every time they blow me off, I can't get out of bed for like 2 days. My birthday is coming up, and I don't even know if they'll show up, even though they're the only person I want to see. And they know it. They know how much they mean to me. But they're still mean to me. And this is really confusing because they are the ones who insisted on being friends, but so far, I'm the only one following through on the friendship. Now, anyone out there watching this video would say, wow, Maria, that's not a real friend. Yeah, you're right. Hello friends, my name is Maria, and this is what my relationships felt like when I settled for the downgrade of remaining friends with ambivalent avoidant exes who were not ready for commitment, but they also weren't ready to face the reality that life has consequences, and when you choose to discard people like trash, you choose to accept the consequence that, like, yeah, those people are probably not gonna wanna hang out anymore. Well, that's how it would play out in a perfect world, but unfortunately, if you grew up in a world where you were always chasing love, then when someone dumps you, not only do you agree to a friendship, you become a super friend, checking in on them, inviting them places, then waiting anxiously for their response, offering to fix things for them when they complain, buying them gifts, satisfying them on nights when they're feeling frisky, and then you see them on social media, having the time of their life. But you weren't invited. Sometimes you see them in photos with actual friends, but sometimes you log on and you see them with someone new. And either way, it all feels devastating because now not only does it feel like you aren't even friends like they wanted to be, but it feels like they strung you along with their random proclamations that they still miss you or they never stopped loving you. And let's not even get into how interested someone can act when they are hoping to hop into bed with you one more time. They leave the door open because they know they had something good with you. Their fear of having to be accountable in a committed relationship just won't let them have it. So now they get the best of you without even having to be respectful of you. But if you're ready to figure out if this person is actually wasting your time, and if you are tired of being so friendly to an ambivalent coward who can't be with you right now, but still doesn't want to live without you, then grab that bottle of nail polish and let's talk. One of the hardest lessons I have ever had to learn is we can't just continue to hand the best of ourselves over to people and think that it guarantees us some kind of emotional payback afterwards. In life, some people are natural reciprocators, but some people are just selfish and giving back isn't in their wheelhouse. There needs to be more of a vetting process before we deem another human being worthy of getting the very best of us. And I'm going to argue that if you clicked on this video because someone else discarded you, they have officially disqualified themselves from your extra special VIP treatment. Stop giving 100% of yourself to people who give you nothing but a kick in the butt out the door. And if they are sleeping with someone else, never lift a finger for that person ever again. If your ex has dumped you and in the process you respectfully tell them that you don't want the breakup, you still love them, it's too soon to be friends. You need time to heal, and they have a problem with it. Too bad for them. Sometimes breakups are a mistake, and the person who dumps you regrets it, and they come back with serious actions to back up their words of remorse. However, if someone dumped you because they got the grass is greener syndrome, they thought someone else was better for them than you, I would seriously take a beat before taking them back. Because you know what I think, and this is just my theory, this whole channel is my personal opinions based on my own experience. I think something unhealthy in their nervous system is attracting them towards someone they might feel is less secure but more exciting. But they have a really hard time letting you go all the way because deep down they know you are good for them. I believe you when you say that they told you that no one else had treated them so well and it was the best relationship they ever had. They know they have something good with you. And think about it. Self-centered people who are in things only for themselves, well, you are certainly someone they have identified as somebody that they can count on. You will be there for them, do things for them, and people who are bona fide survivors will not want to lose 100% access to your generosity, because to them, that doesn't feel safe. Sometimes people bookmark you to keep access to your beautiful assets. However, sometimes we get dumped by people who just don't see a future in the relationship. It's an honest breakup, but it's our attachment wounds that have us continuing to act as friends, as a guise to get them back. But here's why when someone dumps you, you probably shouldn't work so hard to keep being their friend. Now, I have a whole catalog of times I've done this to guys, but shocker, this gem involves a man who couldn't take my no as a final answer. And here's why I was a complete waste of his time, and he should have been the one who dumped me instead of trying to stay friends. Now, at this time, I had just gotten dumped by a guy that I was gaga over. And back then, I thought that dating other people would magically make the pain of the breakup go away, and I was someone who really needed external validation. This is where I was coming from, and like I say in my videos, that guy had no idea. You never know where someone is coming from with their unhealed baggage when they first meet you. So I went on like 3 or 4 dates with this guy, and our sense of humor didn't match. We didn't like the same movies or music. It just wasn't a match. And of course, there was the whole I was trying to still keep my ex in my life thing. But because this new guy had never treated me disrespectfully, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. And I gave him the whole I need to work on myself letdown. Ironically, although I thought I was giving him a polite excuse, I had a lot of work I needed to do on myself, which was the #1 reason I shouldn't have even been dating. My version of working on myself was trying to piece back together the shattered memories of when my ex cared enough to at least love bomb me, but I digress. So this gentleman, he accepted the rejection, but then he tried to stay in my life under the guise of friends, continuing to text me, inviting me to come out to a wine tasting just as friends. It was so obvious. And even though I already wasn't attracted to him, when he kept contacting me after I rejected him, I lost even more attraction. I can't even describe to you how unattractive I am in my own memories of chasing people who had already rejected me. And that guy I blew off, he definitely should have been the one rejecting me, because I was already drinking a little too much and talking about how my ex hurt me by like our second date, which I always say is the potential for a big red flag. And in my case, it was. You know, I told him that I couldn't be in a relationship because I had to work on myself, but let's get real. If that same day my ex had texted me and asked me to come over, I would have jumped into his arms faster than you can say, "She's for the streets," because I wasn't over my ex and I had no business dating while I was in love or trying to be fake friends with another man. But I get it. It is hard to let go if it's like my ex, if your ex who discarded you is tickled piggy pink to stay friends, there's no downside for them. They get to look like the awesome guy and tell their next suitor that they're friends with all of their exes. Aren't they great? But it's going to cost you opportunities. Trying to have a friendship with someone who rejected you creates an unbalanced power dynamic, and it really messes up your future dating confidence. I have so many people I talk to who tell me they're having a hard time feeling any sparks with new people that they are dating. They tell me they have crippling anxiety at the thought of dating someone new. They are also calling me in shambles because they're trying to stay friends with their ex who blindsided and devastated them. Blindsiding, devastating. Wow. Who needs friends like that? Friends don't make you feel unimportant, small, or like you are dying inside. They don't make you feel like you're insignificant or like you aren't good enough to breathe the same air. They don't make you feel left out. They don't do things they know will disappoint and hurt you on purpose. You would never think of treating a genuine friend like that, but it's also hard to be genuine friends when your heart is broken. I have a genuine friend I've known for years, and when we meet up every couple of months, it's like no time has passed. We catch up on life, and we like it that way. It works for us because we are friends. But I'll bet you don't only want to see your ex once every 2 months. That's a relationship you are settling for. I've settled for this because of exes who claimed they wanted to stay friends, but would only see me on their terms. Well, that might not be a committed relationship, but it's not a friendship either. And I cannot stress enough how important it is if being in a romantic relationship long term is something that you want. At minimum, the person you choose needs to be your friend. And I am telling you this as the mom of a young toddler who sleeps in between myself and my partner in bed every single night. Life is going to throw you challenging seasons where you guys are not going to be able to hold an entire relationship together if the only time you are nice to each other or simpatico is in the bedroom. Life is tough, and you're going to have moments where you need a friend more than you need a lover. Time and emotional sobriety are going to be your actual friends after a breakup. I had a viewer who popped up into my comments last week, and he mentioned that he bumped into his ex who had done him dirty. And I guess they'd been in no contact for a while. And he said not only was he no longer interested in being her friend, for the first time ever, this woman that he pedestalized, he thought she was ugly. And that's a beautiful thing. Welcome to the other half, where we know attraction is not just about looks. We also need to take care of the inner half. Because when we can finally begin to see someone who exploits sensitive people as ugly on the outside as they look on the inside, that's healing, baby. But you gotta put in some hard stops in order to get to this point. Stop continuing to do so many thoughtful things for people who dump you. Stop giving people the satisfaction of feeling like they never did anything wrong when they betrayed your relationship because you continue to give to them. And for the love of all that is holy, put some emergency boundaries up right now if you are still sleeping together as friends for their benefit. I don't care what modern society society says, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, this will emotionally destroy you. You must be enough of a friend to yourself to not want to continue to put yourself in harm's way. Give yourself a break. I know a lot of people on this channel struggle with self-love, but you start with small steps. And you tell yourself that you might not be madly in love with who you are right now, but like any epic love story, it always starts with being just friends. Talking to yourself as a friend could be one of the most life-changing things you ever do, because not only will it bolster your self-image, it will help put people's actions into perspective. And now, when someone who has lied to you, discarded you, used you for your body, or breadcrumbs you, tries to manipulate you into staying their friend, you'll be like, thanks, but no thanks. You mocha me crazy. And if you'd like to know why someone who jerks you around still feels like the final boss, I'll put that video right here. My name is Maria Adriana. You did not have to live my life, but I certainly hope you can learn something from it. As always, thank you for visiting The Other Half.